Hey folks, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. I've been focusing my attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past 5 years. There's a slew of links in the description down below to different supplements I've already published that are available through DMsGuild.com. I've been focusing my attention here for the past year on Spelljammer Adventures in Space, which was a new campaign setting that Wizards of the Coast had published in August 2022. It is a reimagining of the original Spelljammer setting that was created by TSR during 2nd edition back in like 1989. So Wizards of the Coast using 5e generally leans on DMs making rulings without providing a lot of in-depth rules inside their supplements. One of the things, though, about DMs making a ruling is they need rules from which they can use as a base model to which make rulings from. So one of the major complaints about the Spelljammer's Adventures in Space box set that was created is that it doesn't have many rules in it for which DMs to then make rulings off of to create more depth in the campaign. So this supplement that we've been creating here, Spelljammer Combat Exploration, it's a deep dive, it's a 106 pages document, deep dive into various mechanics and just exploration and combat game physics that you can use as a baseline to then make your own rulings off of. You can either use them as presented as such, or you can use them as an opportunity to riff off of ideas yourself and to go your own way. But if there's something for you to then hinge off of, you'll have a better base of comparison for, how are you building things. So when we were here last week, we had touched upon maintaining crews and ships, and like the cost of lifestyles and the effect of lifestyles. So as I believe I had said in that previous document, that we'd come back and take a look at the impact of decreasing the lifestyle aboard a ship. So just to recap briefly for you, there are various lifestyles from aristocratic to squalid. Squalid is basically starvation, while aristocratic is utter luxury. So as you live aboard a ship and time goes on, there's a chance of your lifestyle eroding if you don't touch base in port and restock supplies, which we went through in the previous session that we visited here. There'll be a link to that down below as well. One of the impacts of having a lifestyle that erodes below a comfortable lifestyle into modest, poor, and squalid is an impact on the rank of your crew. And now rank on a scale of 1 to 5 is a means of being able to assess how well they can perform in combat. Here we have just a note here about the CR of the creatures that are part of your crew to set a sort of baseline of what their rank would be. And here we have the renown system that's used in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, as well as presented as reputation or renown in the Dungeon Master's Guide as a variant rule. Using the renown system, you can accumulate a number of battles. So a low CR creature can accumulate higher ranks of skill with accumulating renown gained by number of battles. Every time, like if you want to go from 10th to 11th rank, you would have to survive or come back from 11 battles to get to 11th level, 11th rank. A renown of 11. To get from renown 11 to 12, you would then have to endure another 12 battles. So to get from no renown to 10 renown, it takes a total cumulative 55 battles. You can become a top-notch expert 5th rank crew basically by going on a 4-year mission where you're enduring battle every day. So as a result of gaining ranks like this, the die that you would roll as part of dealing damage, like for example, if a ballista does d4 damage times 10, piercing damage to a ship. If you have higher rank crews, as you develop your team, they can do higher dice of damage, like d4 times 10 to like a 3rd rank crew doing d8 times 10 to a masterful 5th rank crew doing d12 times 10. But these crew also cost more money to maintain lifestyles for. So if you have a high rank crew that is living aboard a vessel that has a very low lifestyle, their effective rank is going to be impacted. A 5th rank crack team is not going to be performing optimally if they are forced to live in a poor or squalid lifestyle. That 5th rank crew may perform only at -3 ranks as only, say, a 2nd rank crew, which is a massive impact on the kind of damage that they can do. The rank also modifies how quickly they can reload and fire siege weapons, kind of like a rate of fire or an attack bonus, or like an attack speed during attack actions. So high rank is high demand, and they demand high prices. And if they have a poor lifestyle, or if there's infestations aboard your ship, there's a fire or other hazards, or if there's combat and you've lost crew members as a result of that combat, this can impact morale. So I wanted to take a quick moment here just to dive into looking at morale and mutiny. So when the lifestyle aboard a ship degrades or crew are lost, such as during combat or in a fire, a group task is required to maintain morale, taking a number of hours equal to the number of characters participating in the group check. So all of these hazards that we have in this chapter, and we're just looking at this one right now, but all the hazards that we have in the book all hinge on group tasks, which is a concept from 4th edition that has been picked up by various projects and publishers in 5th edition as well. And it's a very fun mechanic to take what could be very boring or downtime activity tasks and injecting some fun and opportunities to have throwing some dice around and to create role-playing opportunities out of it. So the way that it works here is the abilities check. As a group task, each character can make an ability check against DC 20 minus the current rank of the crew. So if your 5th rank crew has suffered massive losses, or they're living in a squalid condition right now and their rank is eroded by 3 down to a rank of 2, or if you have a 3rd rank crew that's living in a squalid condition, their rank can't erode below 1. So if it were to erode down to a rank of 1, that 5th rank crew would be having a target DC of 19. So, and as a group task, just for people that aren't familiar with the concept, is each character is going to, or each player is going to roll an ability check. And what type of ability check is basically depending on what the challenge is. And for each success that is gained during that task, the number of successes will determine the level of success. So, taking that as inspiration, let's look at what we can do. Now, a DM can allow any kind of ability check, any stat, any skill, any tools, whatever the DM feels is appropriate. That's generally the rules of how ability tasks group tasks work. So we have a list of inspiration here to add some unusual combinations of skills and ability checks for people to open up their mind and have some imagination about having fun with these, and let players use these opportunities to lean into what they're good at and to be able to have a fun mix and match of abilities and skills. So, like, as you can read here along with me, you can make a strength check that would be modified if you're proficient with the medicine skill. This could be an example of leading crew in exercise to burn off extra stress. Dexterity as persuasion could be a competition of darts, shuffleboards, other games to vent frustrations and to build camaraderie. A constitution ability check using the intimidation skill could be breath holding, staring contests, and other endurance competitions to alleviate the boredom of wild space. Intelligence could be using acrobatics, which would be sharing puzzles, riddles, and other mental challenges to promote problem solving during a crisis. Wisdom, using cooking utensils, could be that just simply everything seems better after having a really good meal. Charisma, insight, could be identifying personality conflicts among the crew members and invite them to air their grievances. All of these can be opportunities just to have some fun little role-playing, riffy type stuff, and keeping in mind that each of these has a DC of 20 minus whatever the current rank of the team is. So the number of successes determines the result of the group check. So 3 or more successes is a fantastic success. The crew builds camaraderie. And characters gain a +2 bonus to command die rolls for the next 24 hours. Command die rolls are used like when you're trying to remove hazards, when you are in combat, as well as other investigation stuff that might make use of your team, your crew members, like foraging for ammunition, for example, in a rock field, so that you have new ammunition to load onto your catapults to fire at enemies. You could go to an asteroid field and just start harvesting smaller rocks that you can just gather up, for example. You could have your crew help you gather those things, and this great success would allow you a +2 bonus to those attack rolls and those skill checks that you're performing during that time. If you only have 2 success, then morale holds. If you only have 1 success, the crew rank is reduced by 1 only for the next 24 hours. If the crew is already performing at first rank, the crew then mutinies. And if you have 0 successes, as 1 success above for 24 hours, plus the crew just immediately mutinies. So the crew rank is reduced by 1 for the next 24 hours, and they immediately mutiny. So if you have less than 3 characters on your team that are performing these skill checks during the task, it might seem unfair that if you only have 2 characters, the best thing you can do is hold morale. But keeping in mind, the reason you have a crew in the first place is because there's more stuff that needs to be done than what your 2 characters are capable of even performing. So your team is going to be outnumbered by NPCs. And if you don't have enough impact on this larger group of people, yeah, they're going to roll over you, and they're going to mutiny, and they're going to do what they think as a collective is good for them, because your team doesn't have enough presence and force of personality to help shape their opinion to work on to continue working alongside your team. So what happens during a mutiny? When a ship crew mutinies, they refuse to follow any orders and make 1 or more demands, such as the following. A crew could demand that the characters take the crew to a community that can sustain a comfortable lifestyle. Again, a comfortable lifestyle is an unpenalized lifestyle. They have comfort. They're not wanting for anything. They can feel contentment. So they're going to want to go someplace or have a circumstance where they're going to feel comfortable. So they're going to demand that you go there. They will then disembark, and they're going to refuse to adventure with you for D4 seasons per rank of crew. So if you have caused a fifth rank crew to mutiny because of neglect or mismanagement, then it could literally be years before those NPCs will trust you enough to be on board again your ship. But like a very low rank crew that has very little skill may just be looking for work in general. So might hold a grudge against you just for a little while, but the lure of work and the offer of fame, fortune, and let's try again, guys, you could lure them back to your ship sooner. But they're only first rank. By the time that time elapses, your characters are probably going to be higher level, wanting higher rank crews anyway. So there's a fun dynamic that mixes there. The crew could demand a payment of gold or treasure, and generally a good suggestion would be the cost per season as a lifestyle. Maybe, like if you promised them a comfortable lifestyle and you couldn't maintain it, they may require a cash payout of 2,000 gold distributed across the ship in compensation for neglecting your commitment to maintain a comfortable lifestyle aboard the ship, or whatever the DM feels is an appropriate amount of money or reward for the rank or CR of the crew that you're negotiating with. The crew could demand the character perform 1 or more tasks, such as if they lost crew members due to combat, they may demand that you resurrect them. And if the characters refuse any of these demands, the crew might attempt to fight to take control of the ship themselves, in which case the characters now have to fight their own crew, potentially kill or put them in the brig, and now they have less crew to operate their ship. They become exposed to more risk. They may find themselves just having to go back to a community to port and pick up new crew anyway. So that's a fun little dynamic there. If the ship is attacked or faces any hazards before reaching a port during a mutiny, the crew will follow the commands until the threat ends. Because if they don't, then if Neogi attack your ship in the middle of a mutiny, you're not gonna side with the Neogi, because they're just gonna eat or enslave you and sell you to a Lithid or somebody. So often the devil that you currently know is better than the one that's out there trying to destroy your ship. So yes, you can put the feud on hold, but they are going to operate at that lower, potentially at that lower rank. So they're going to be less effective in combat for you because they're really having a bad time with things, but they will work with you. And so once the characters can then, once the threat is over, the characters can then attempt to another group task roll, but this time it's going to be with disadvantage. And they're going to be at a lower rank already, so it's likely that they're going to be pushing up around DC 20. Even if you're like 18th level characters, that might be easy to achieve, but you can still mishap with it. And so the characters can then attempt to do it again. They make the disadvantage. If the task again fails to restore morale, the crew may make additional demands or fight to take control of the ship. And the team, if they don't fight back against the crew somehow, may find the ship being taken from them and losing their ship altogether, which would become another interesting tangential adventure for the team to get their boat back, or to go find a new one, or to convince the crew to work with them again, which is just, again, this is just propelling you into additional adventure. Everything that we built in this book is designed to give you more options and to provide a base framework for the DM and the players to have a common language to be able to understand how we can operate in Wild Space as a campaign setting. And everything that we have in here is designed to help inspire and propel new adventures, new encounters, new ways, and means of being able to create those encounters and resolve conflicts so that you can have a more in-depth 5e game using Spelljammer. So if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I stream artwork for this Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, I create additional content like this, and I have an open development stream that you can check out different work that I do. I'll be back tomorrow, so you can catch up with me then and whatever it is that we're working on. Whenever you see this, it's pretty much guaranteed you're going to see something from me tomorrow. So check it out, and I hope to see you on the other side. So thanks a lot, guys.